public and private rights, as well as master planning. I now request Alan Azam to come on the stage and Professor Meera Maligaonkar to come and felicitate sir, please. Even Vice Principal Ijaz sir to come on the stage for the felicitation. Can we please have architect Abraham John also on the stage for felicitation?
Now we request our distinguished guests of honor, Professor Madhav Devbhakta and Meera Devbhakta ma'am, to please come on stage. Professor Madhav Devbhakta is an architect and educationist. His involvement in architectural education and practices dates back to 1957, first as a member of faculty of Sir J.J. College of Architecture and Academy of Architecture, Mumbai, and as a partner of M.S. Sane and Paymaster Architects. Widely traveled, he has made slide presentations relating to urban design, aesthetics, and contemporary Indian architecture all over India and abroad. He has contributed articles to IIA, Journal Aesthetics, Indian Architect and Builder, TOI, and Vishwakosha. Your presence here today fills us with immense joy and gratitude. I now request Professor Daksh Jain to please come on stage. We would like to start by thanking Assistant Professor Triveni Salda for managing the overall exhibition. Assistant Professor Triveni is an architect and urban designer primarily based in Mumbai. She completed her master's in the University of West Midlands, London in urban design with a minor in international planning, which she will be duly benefiting of a postgraduate Part 3 scholarship in her class. Her academic work and research was built on urban design, planning and architecture professional practice undertaken in London and Mumbai.
Now we would like to call Professor Minaz Ansari to have the privilege of felicitating two individuals for their meticulous service.
Hello. Morning everyone. Since the inception of Rizvi College of Architecture in 1992, we have had the privilege of having the best of teachers. Not here. Better? Sorry. So since the inception of our college in 1992, we have had the privilege of having the best of teachers who have taught in Rizvi for varying periods of time. A few of them would have been here for a small stint, many for a few years, and there have been some faculty members who have been with us for decades. They have left an indelible mark on the students and co-faculty members of the college. And today we are here to commemorate the contribution of two such teachers whose decades of engagement has defined what we at Rizvi called Rizvians, a unique culture that bonds every one of us together over ideas, theories, different methods of teaching, diverse ways of looking at the world, and of course, food. Today we recognize the meritorious service of Professor Himanshu Upadhyay and Professor Conrad Gonzalez, who have contributed immensely to this Rizvian in the past decades. Himanshu Nidhikant Upadhyay was born in the year 1948 in Valsad, Gujarat. He completed his diploma in architecture from Sir J.J. College of Architecture in 1974. He is a member of the Council of Architecture, Indian Institutes of Architects, Indian Institute of Interior Designers, and the World Society of Acoustics. He has been a social worker in Mumbai while working as an architect. From 1985 to 2012, he has been a member of Group 7 Architects and Planners Private Limited and G7 Architects. He has won various public and awards and invited competition projects like school and workplaces. Hemu sir, as we all know him, has completed a course in film appreciation in 1998, and his architectural practice ranges from small housing units to apartments, workplaces, commercial, recreational, educational projects, and mixed-use premises. He retired from active practice on 31st of March 2012 to have a full academic commitment, and he has recently retired from teaching in 2023 due to health reasons. To us at Rizvi College of Architecture, Hemu sir has been a beacon of light. He has always been prodding us to read more books, watch more movies, and travel to more places. His unending supply of priceless information that he carries around in his pen drive has helped us all find inspiration at some point. To us, he has always been the Chatta Firda Google and a source of happiness and positivity. Hemu sir is one of the most generous persons that I know, always ready to help those in need. He has helped out many students bridge financial difficulties in the past without any expectations of appreciation or recognition. We thank Hemu sir for his invaluable contribution to our college and wish him the best in all his endeavours. We request Hemu sir to please come forward, and we request Meera ma'am to please felicitate him. Please come forward, everyone. Yeah, it's okay to come here. Conrad Gonzalez. He is an interior designer and a fellow member of IIID, past president of the Indian Institutes of Interior Designers from 2002 to 2004. With exposure to studies in science, humanities, architecture and interior design, Conrad is an interior designer and fellow member of the Indian Institutes of Interior Designers. He has represented IIID at international conventions of the International Federation of Interior Architects and Designers (IFI) and of the Asia Pacific Space Designers Association (APSDA). Besides guest lectures at various design institutes around the country, he has been facilitator for a students' workshop at Taiwan and a resource person and an external examiner at Greenside, South Africa. His professional design services has reached out to a wide category of projects ranging from hospitals, banks, corporate offices, television and recording studios for clients ranging from community banks to multinationals. Currently, small living spaces has been his preferred area of work. From other initiatives, he has also been associated with preservations and promotion of the artistic and historical patrimony of the church in Mumbai, the Federation of the Jesuit Alumni Associations of India, and the World Union of Jesuit Alumni. Along with his partner, Mildred Diabrio, he drives DLLD, Design, Learning, Direction and Living, of which KWYDNK, Knowing What You Do Not Know, is an initiative aimed at introducing the young design professional, facility members and the end users associated with the built environment to emerging areas that are missed out in design training. Conrad sir has been and continues to be an unending well of ideas for all of us at RISD College of Architecture. His experiments with his own journey as a student and as a professional and his immense body of work are truly commendable. Every meeting with him has sparked new thoughts, new approaches to teaching and triggered new ways of seeing the world. One of the most gentle, articulate and giving persons that we have had on the campus. Conrad sir continues to inspire us by just being the wonderful person that he is. We wish him the very best for all his endeavors and hope to connect with him in the future for his expert advice. I request Conrad sir to please come ahead. And Meera ma'am, please felicitate him. Hijaz, please join us on stage. To conclude, I would like to read out something which I had written a little while ago. It says, a teacher doesn't retire. He continues to glow by the way of the light he has sparked in his students' minds. A teacher doesn't retire. He goes on to spread the fire that he has ignited in their hearts. A teacher doesn't retire. He resides in the joy that he has sown in countless hearts. A teacher doesn't retire. He smiles in the ocean of smiles that he has created around him. A teacher doesn't retire. He continues to bless the world by being just what he is, a teacher. Thank you so much.
birds. Please, sir.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much to Disney College and to everyone involved. Okay? It's okay? Thanks everyone. Thank you to Disney and to everyone who's made this possible, including the staff, students, everybody. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. Yeah, it's a privilege and an honor to be here and to see, as we can see, architects span from the young to the old. My dad's also there, Professor Yoga was there, so it's like we can see that we have a long lifespan and we never retire.
We have an occasion to share our thoughts and experiences with you. Now, as a teacher, I can go on talking for 45, 50 or 1 hour, but I will be brief. And what we have learned from our experience, which of course extends to other colleges as well, right from the JJ College of Architecture, from which both of us graduated, right down to the Vivekananda Education Society's College of Architecture in Chambers, where we are members of the National Dealing with students and faculty members has always been a wonderful experience. And Minas talked about what the teacher is. We will always be there. But where will the teacher be if there are no students? And I, for one, have always looked at students as friends and future colleagues. And both of us have tried to do our best. And the kind of books that we have written have been guide to students in many different ways. Now, talking about today's theme, reflections of the future, reminded me of our book, Futures of Relevance, in which not only Meera and myself have contributed, but Professor Hussain Bhatia, Professor Akhtar Chauhan, Professor Inaugural, and a few others have contributed. And we are talking about the present. We can prepare ourselves for the challenges that we face. So, Miraji, thank you for giving us an opportunity, and the occasion is more special of meeting Abraham, a favorite student of mine at JJ, General Secretary, and of course Vidyadhar Tate, whom I have met after many years. Vidyadhar. So all the best. Do your best, and I'm sure nobody can hold you back. All the best. Thank you.
Now, let us proceed with the presentations and exhibitions. First up, we have the presentation on Hidden Himalaya by Swapnil Bhole, showcasing stunning visuals and insights into the lesser known aspects of the Himalayan region. Swapnil S. Bhole is a practicing architect from Mumbai who graduated in 2004. He has been actively involved in heritage listing and documentation for Mumbai in collaboration with non-profit organization Pukar. Let us embark on a visual journey through the breathtaking landscapes of the Himalayas captured by Swapnil Bhole. His photographs reveal the beauty and mystique of these majestic mountains. So please come on the stage and start with your presentation.
इधर इधर आ रहे वीडियो कॉल आ रहे उठे ना इधर 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 देखो अरे काम यहाँ पर नहीं यहाँ पर यहाँ पर लग रहा है यहाँ पर देखो
I'm sorry.
चल रहा है
I should have spoken about it before. But before Swapnil takes the stage, I want to talk about him. He was one of the focus students at Rizvi, and after graduation, we kept on meeting each other, and especially I appreciated his concern for the heritage. And Shakir Kumpati and Swapnil did this excellent work which will be on display here. And I am proud and happy that he has been able to achieve all these things. And the end is not here, I am sure. You are going to go places. You have already got to Gujarat, next is Bangalore, and maybe many other places in India. So all the best. Thank you.
This will be a joint presentation by Swapnil sir as well as the architect Neha Raje. Neha Raje is a practicing architect from Mumbai who graduated in 2013. She has been involved in heritage listing and documentation for Mumbai for MMRDA and infrastructure development, investment programs for tourism, Himachal Pradesh and tourism Uttarakhand. Sir and ma'am, please come on the stage.
Good morning everyone. I, Neha Razik and my partner Swapnil Pure are going to present our work on vernacular architecture in India, a case of architectural heritage of southeastern Himachal Pradesh. We are extremely pleased to make this presentation at Rizvi College of Architecture, where the very inception of this whole work took place. Where do I aim this to change the slide? Can I operate it from here? traveled more than 20,000 kilometers in Himalayas and covered 4 districts and 38 sites, including majestic temples, royal forts, and residential dwellings. The structure of the presentation for today is as follows. I'll introduce you to the Himachal, how this work began, and what all we have accomplished in the same. Himachal Pradesh, popularly known as the abode of gods, is a land of mighty mountain ranges. Depending upon the altitude, it is further subdivided into lower, middle, and higher Himalayas. In addition to this, the entire state In addition to this, the entire state lies in zones 4 and 5 of seismic activity. Despite all these formidable natural circumstances, communities here have not only evolved but rather flourished. They have paved culturally rich roads upon the hard rock of traditional knowledge systems and are further strengthened by their strong ritualistic beliefs along with legendary folklores. This journey of passion projects was initiated by 2 young architectural graduates, Shabir Khambati and Swapnil Bhole, way back in 2002. Along with their colleagues at Rizvi College, they had documented the Vijayketa Mandir in Shimla district. It was then that they were fascinated by this technological marvel of the cartoony style. Since then, our team Sarahan has been studying the traditional architecture and construction techniques of Himachal by exploring lesser known wonders in cartoony and thus creating a dialogue about the same. Through our explorations, we have realized that this construction technique has been used in buildings of varying scales, right from a modest residential dwelling to a mighty tower temple. Let us proceed to understand the science of cartoony. As the name suggests, cartoony means wooden members interlocked at right angles. This technique boasts of some remarkable earthquake-resistant features which have transcended time and are comparable to emerging principles of modern technological advances. It utilizes the locally available materials, deodar wood and slate stone, to its optimum advantage. The ancient master masons have transferred this climatically responsive technology through hereditary traditions and community participation. One can see this in the construction technique, construction system, which is very cleverly depicted in different aspects of the building. The structures built in cartoony style have very high planes and thus affecting the height of the affecting height of the structure is reduced. As a result of this, the center of gravity is towards the base in the height of these buildings. These are some more illustrations representing the dry masonry infill with spacer blocks and hinge joints. Consequently, in cartoony style, walls vibrate with the earthquake instead of resisting the seismic force. This, along with the dry masonry, makes the structure elastic rather than rigid as compared to the modern concrete structures. Through our study, we have found out that this style of building exists in abundance and yet is extremely vulnerable due to multiple reasons. Let me cite some examples for you. The photograph on the left shows the original temple at Mandal in cartoony style. For no significant reason, it has been pulled down and reconstructed in concrete and cladded with stone and timber, so it merely resembles the older structure. But we have actually lost the technology due to this. The next image is of Darbargarh at Dharkoti in Shimla district, which got destroyed due to fire few years ago. And lastly, this is Fort Sapni and Bugherani Palace in Kinnaur district, which is clearly seen to be in a dilapidated condition. We thereby come to a conclusion that cartoony style comprises of indigenous and unprotected heritage. Our mission statement is to research, document and conserve this unique traditional architecture, as today it stands as the timeless expression of the spirit, skill and craftsmanship of our ancient master masons. We often face various challenges in this work related to access, permissions, harsh climate and also convincing the locals about the importance of these buildings. These are some of the images which we are sharing of our site work that we conduct. These are some of the images which talk about challenges that we encounter on the sites. At the same time, we have found inspiration when guided by senior mentors like Padma Bhushan Sir Mark Tully, late Padma Shri Sadashiv Gunakshikar, Dr. Firoza Godrej, and Mr. Cyrus Ghazdar, to name a few of our supporters. We have been invited to conduct various workshops in various architectural colleges, in TAC, etc. We have also been writing for websites, magazines and other forms of print media. Our first photo exhibition was held during Sinta Summer Festival in June 2020 in collaboration with the Himachal State Government. It was followed by our second photo exhibition in Mumbai, which was supported by Dr. Firoza Godrej and Mr. Cyrus Ghazdar. And the third one took place at Ahmedabad last month. While exploring and studying this technological brilliance of cartooning, the parallel thoughts that ran in our minds were how to continue this legacy. What can be our contribution in taking this ahead, of making this relevant in present and our future as well. Our efforts have led us to interesting projects which are enabling us to use this knowledge system in reviving certain milestone structures, and not only that, but constructing new ones by using age-old technology as well. Swapnil will proceed from here to elaborate how this academic research has culminated into projects.
Thank you, Neha. Good morning, everyone. As said earlier, we have so far documented 38 sites, which includes forts, palaces, residential dwellings, villages. Out of them, we have shortlisted undertaken projects on 3 sites. The one which you see, based on the certain parameters, its strategic importance, historical importance, how it's important for the local community, and based on that, the first picture which you see on the left of your screen is the Mahamaya Mandir or the fort of Panga, which is the oldest in Himachal, which is built around 1250 years ago. The other fort which I undertaken for restoration is the Gondla Fort, where last year we collaborated with master students of Rizvi College, and phase 1 of documentation has been completed. Moving on to one of the most important projects, which I will discuss in detail, is the restoration of Fort Cheni along with its village. The best part of this project is all the projects are going to be restored by the help of community participation. Here I would like to go into a little bit in detail, like how the whole process began. Fort Cheni lies in district Kulu of Tehsil Dandar and is around 160 kilometers from Simla. This towering edifice overlooks the hills of Kulu region, and it's the tallest tower temple not only in the southeastern Himalayan region but in the whole Indian Himalayan region. Once it has defense structure against attacking tribals, it serves now as a temple. This raw architecture exposes cartooning technology to its maximum of time the corners and even the external scanning to maintain its structural reinforcement so that it can As you can see in this image, with a majestic backdrop of thick deodar forest, Tower of Cheni rides in the front, and in the forefront is the village of Cheni. This slide shows the comparative analysis with respect to the height. Like there are many such tower temples which were documented, but if you see the scale and with respect to the height, this is the tallest of them all, as I mentioned earlier. So what have we done since last 15 years, 20 years? Like from 2004 to 2018, we had multiple site visits. We took a lot of interviews from youngsters to from all age groups, and we asked them very stern questions like how important this structure is for them, how important heritage, they value it. So when we conducted meetings with the Panchayat Committee, Sarpanch, with the temple trusts, temple committees, and finally it took around 15 years for us to convince them to restore this iconic building. Finally in 2018, Cheni Buddhi Restoration and Protection Committee was formed, where the locals have come ahead to restore this project. What I mean by that is, we require around 3.5 to 4 CR for restoration of this project along with the upliftment of the village. So around 10,000 households are living in the deity which resides on top of this tower. So the committee decided that every household will contribute around 2,000 rupees So that accounts to approximately 2 crores. And rest of the funds, the committee is going to collect from GP Homestays Union, Tirthal Valley Homestays Union, Kuru Manali and other place taxi unions and so on. So this is how people have come here. Here you can see we are discussing with the locals and the panchayat. They have given us consent in writing with their signs individually, and we as Saran, as you can see from this letter, were appointed to do documentation and restoration of this project. So far till date, we have completed phase 1 part where we have handed over documentation and report to them. And as I speak right now, around 15 lakh rupees has been collected by the people from the village of Chen. So we hope that in the next year or so, the required substantial funds will be collected and we can start restoring this monument. These are some examples of our on-site drawings which were submitted. So the impact of this project is going to be at 2 levels. One will be social impact and another will be the environmental impact. Where we are trying to develop certain views based on sustainable development guidelines. And most important, the beneficiaries of this project will be the locals who are residing in the village and in the surrounding valley. We hope that this project will serve as a catalyst to kick off many more projects in the entire Himalayan region. Now coming from old to new. Since we are working here for almost 2 decades now, we got an opportunity to work on a new building where the client needs was very simple, that we want to build a homestay but based on traditional Kashmiri style. There is always an argument where people say that how can we, is it possible to reuse the old technology, how can we do modern buildings to that? So we tried to get inspiration from these old houses of the surrounding villages, and the final outcome of our project was this. So this is a homestay which we have constructed in traditional Kashmiri style, but with all the modern facilities inside. This is the view of internal lobby and the night view. So after this, we have been commissioned to do another 3 projects, where one is a guest house in Tinder, which are right now walking on, and now we are doing a wellness retreat in near Simla and a homestay again in Kulu Valley. So like what happens when you work on these kind of projects? For us, being architects, it's like when we work on this project, we involve a lot of local craftsmen. Eventually reviving this traditional old indigenous technology. By restoring some of the iconic buildings, we are able to prolong the life of these structures. Indirectly creating the awareness about the heritage and also about this traditional technology. In short, overall what we achieve is, directly or indirectly, we as architects are trying to preserve their local art, architecture and culture by means of restoring or by means of building new buildings. Because we firmly believe that only when community cherishes its heritage, it can be truly conserved. So this is our journey till date. Thank you, History College, for giving us this opportunity to present our work in a short span of time.
We would now like to felicitate architect Swapnil Bole and architect Neha Rajit. moving on, we have the Palahali documentation by the second year students under the guidance of the ARD and AD faculties, Jigar sir, Parvez sir, Hanisha ma'am, Tanya ma'am, Vivek sir, and Kartiki ma'am. This project offers a glimpse into the rich cultural heritage and traditions of Palahali village in Mysore. Do we have the presentation? Palahali, roots, rituals and house calls. This exhibition showcases the diverse and intricate documentation of house forms within the village, each uniquely shaped by the interplay of climatic conditions, socio-cultural dynamics and agricultural practices. These houses serve as tangible expressions of the community's deep connection to the environment, embodying centuries of adaptation and innovation. They provide sanctuaries for family gathering, workshops for traditional crafts, and storerooms for harvested crops. Our documentation not only celebrates the ingenuity of vernacular architecture, but also highlights the invaluable wisdom embedded in these age-old designs, offering insights into sustainable living practices and fostering a deep appreciation for the rich tapestry of human ingenuity and cultural diversity. Palahali is a village in the southern state of Karnataka, India. It is located in the Srirangapatna taluk of Mandya district, where the first sugar factory was built while it was still a British colony. The journey of documentation started with a walk around the village, and immediately the first thing we noticed was the bright and vibrant colors of the homes and the long lanes which intertwined and somewhat transformed into a different setting. This also reflected in the people residing there as they welcomed us with koli, fish and warm smiles. These are some of the images of the homes, the lanes and the beautiful colors of the village and the cleanliness and the well-maintained structures there. We were prepared to face some difficulty in communicating with the locals, but to what extent that we were unaware of. It was a major culture shock as most of the locals only communicated through Kannada, which the students of Mumbai were completely unfamiliar with. Fortunately for us, faculty member architect Sneha Udadar was fluent in the language and helped us communicate with the locals initially. But due to the warm, kind, welcoming and accepting people of the village, each of us learned to say or rather to show what we need in a very special way. These lovely people allowed us to invade their homes and lives for the week without a second thought. Over a period of days, we realized that there's so much more to this small village than what meets the eye at first glance. We started noticing the beautiful columns at the entrance of each house. The column pattern are one and many things intertwined, exemplifying geometrical symmetry, precision, and an understanding of the complex, interconnected existence of human beings with nature and the cosmos. It is also believed that the kolam is performed to fulfill one of the daily obligations in a Hindu household, to feed 1,000 souls. These are some of the kolams that we've documented, and each of them is made specifically out of rice flour by the elder women of the family. Now, observing the roofs of each house, one can see a clear transition from old semicircular Indian tiles to newer Mangalore tiles, and still being able to adapt it by just resting it on a bamboo mesh. Beams and rafters were also used in some houses, which were structurally planned, emphasizing on the central courtyard. As we looked closer, we noticed the doors of each house. Each of the house told stories of the house itself. Some were old and intricate with beautifully handcrafted motifs, while others showed the influence of the new modern age and their financial life. These doors led us to a different world that we were so unaware of. The courtyards of the Palahali houses acted as a space of transition, ventilation, light, and a means to connect the outside to the inside. The family which resided in the courtyards houses often used them in their day-to-day life, whether it was drying papad, bathing their animals, or just casual seating. Verandas were used to wash clothes, which were nearby a drainage gutter. Columns were also made on verandas to invite guests and also acted as a semi-private, informal seating space which can be used by both the family living inside the house and the people outside who just want to take a break. The courtyards and verandas were the spaces where we spent most of our time drafting, talking, or just resting. The initial process of documentation started with a whole lot of observations, sketches, and diagrams which led us to start the on-scale drawings on site itself. During this time, we had the pleasure of meeting a lot of people. However, for most of us, the most important person was this beautiful lady in the center, Jayama. A gracious grandmother whose warmth and hospitality enveloped us as soon as we stepped foot into her home. Upon sharing our idea of documenting her house, her eyes sparkled with love and happiness, a testament to her genuine joy in welcoming others into her space. Despite life's challenges and distance from her children, Jayama exudes resilience and unwavering warmth. Though she doesn't speak Hindi, her communication flows effortlessly through gestures, revealing her boundless affection. Her enduring admiration for Salman Khan adds charm, reflecting her vibrant personality. Jayama's nurturing nature shines as she insists on offering food, ensuring everyone feels cared for. Despite her inner strength, tearful goodbyes reveal the depth of her emotional connections. In essence, Jayama is a beacon of resilience and love, leaving a lasting impact on all who know her. During this time, we were fortunate enough to experience the festivities of Tulsi Vivah, a Hindu festival that marks the symbolic marriage between the holy Tulsi plant and Lord Shama. The relations and bonds formed during our time with the people of Palahali is something we will never forget. This exhibition is 3 months of hard work, dedication, and pure love for the people, culture, and architecture we experienced. Now we'll just play a short video to summarize our whole experience. Put up on the 6th floor seminar room, Palahali, Roots, Rituals, and Households. Thank you. Moving on, journey continues with Professor Minaz Ansari presenting the Bandra Signage Project, highlighting the innovative approach to urban signage design in the bustling streets of Bandra. Professor Minaz Ansari's work spans across design, academia, research, and writing. One of her most recent research projects has been the curation of exhibits around Mumbai's water stories for Confluence, a virtual exhibition for Mumbai's water narratives. A project launched by Living Water Museum, Professor Minaz looks at her various interests as a means to create a kind of world. The stage is yours, ma'am.
Hello, can you guys hear me? So I know everyone is tired now. It's been a long morning. So I will very quickly run you through this project which has been displayed outside. You can go there and take a closer look as to what the documentation has been. But this is only to give you an idea of where this documentation started and how asking a very simple question can lead to a lot of discovery and how students become a very important part of that discovery. So this project started with this whole idea of questioning what's in a name. And it also started with this little fascination for words which I have always had, whether it is literature, poetry, writing, any kind of calligraphy or even signage. So when this fascination for words met my interest in heritage and then my study of Bandra. It came together to help document heritage in Bandra, to decode Bandra through words, and to preserve heritage through names. And led to the Bandra signage project, as we finally named it, which was basically an inquiry in understanding what's in a name, in this case, house name. And just to give you a little background and context, the whole idea of Bandra and the many names it has, whether it is Bandra or Bandre or Bandora as it was known earlier, it has been a settlement which started off as these little 25 hamlets spread over this peninsula in the island of Salsette, which got more and more inhabited after the Portuguese came in. Slowly roads started coming in, more settlements started coming in, and then you had the railway network, and finally in the last century you had a lot of reclamation which happened and turned Bandra to what it is today. But if you look at the current map of Bandra, there was one particular area that we demarcated, which we wanted to study in depth and ask this question: what's in a name? And that area was the Salsette Catholic Cooperative Housing Society, which is a society which is composed of these over 200 plots of land, which are all owned by the Catholics of Bandra. And they were earlier irregular plots of land, and the people of Bandra came together and put them into a layout which was proportionate, which had amenities like schools, hospitals, it had a church, it had a playground, it had a recreation center, and it led to building activity in the early 20th century for a lot of houses and later apartments. So the mapping and documentation project started with a collaboration with the history students who were then in the second year doing their electives. So we had an elective on understanding signage, the importance of signage, the importance of typography in architecture, and they went on to divide themselves over this whole, if you go back to this entire layout. Different sets of students in pairs went down and documented each and every house there, each and every apartment, to understand what was the signage like. Where was it located, and kind of photo documented the entire thing. And when we got what we had, it looked something like this. So it was just a whole host of house names. This is not even 1/4 of what we totally documented. It's about 1/4 of the data that we collected, and it was a complete variety of things. We were not sure what to do with it. And then we started looking at it in depth. And that's when Gauri came in as a research assistant, and we put it together into the map of Salsette Catholic Cooperative Housing Society. So each plot has been assigned its own signage. We also noted that when it came to street names, this entire block had a certain approach. So most of the names, streets here were named after saints. So you have St. Paul, St. Leo, St. Cyril, St. Andrews, and so on. Some of them were named after prominent people from Bandra. So you had De Monte Road, you had Manuel Gonzalez Road, Perry Road, who was an official with the British governance, and you had Convent Road. But all of them, there was a certain method to the naming of the roads. And we started to understand, was there any method to the naming of the houses? So again we asked that question, what's in the name? And then we started looking at things like signage design, their locations, color and material palettes, and what were the font families. And this was what we found. In terms of location, you could find the older buildings usually had very small signages which were located on the compound wall or the gate, or they were freestanding. But as the building started growing taller, you had signages which were coming on the lower beams of the building. There were vertical signages because the buildings were becoming vertical in nature, and even large signages which were mounted on the ground. In terms of layouts, we found various patterns. The original pattern being this, very typical curved signage, which you also find on tombstones. All of these were carved either as marble or in granite. And then you had a whole variety. Some were inscribed in triangles, some were stacked. Many of them were angular, linear, vertical. So a whole variety of ways in which the signage was put up. There was a color palette which started emerging. So, sorry for this typo, natural colors. So wherever granite and marble were used, there was a certain color palette which was natural. Paint started coming in, so you had a darker background and silver signage on top of it, or a lighter background and black signage on top of it. Black and red seem to be the two dominant colors. And the material palette again, it evolved from granite and marble to metal, stained glass, metal wires, and even the newer signages are in stainless steel, acrylic, aluminum composite panels, some of them in brass, and the new logo for Southside Catholic Cooperative Housing Society is in ceramic tile. Typography was something again which we kind of deciphered. So we could see these, font families which were there. So serif, script, bold, black letter, and decorative is the different font families that we put the signages in. And then we asked again, that is it all? After covering all the tangibles, what else? What is in the name? And that's when we started putting all those pictures together in our college on pin-up boards based on various different rationales. And that's when the magic started unfolding. So we figured that there were a lot of houses, especially the older houses, which were named after people in the family, which were named after their ancestors, which were named after family names, not necessarily first names. And then there were some which had some theological significance. So you had Casa Maria or Madonna and Ebenezer and St. Augustine. So all of them tending towards either biblical names or something else which was linked to theology. One very interesting find was that the older houses many of the buildings had names which had a suffix or a prefix. So the older ones had either house or villa, bungalow, such haven. The new ones, however, had more fancy and kind of aspirational names. So like you had Jewel Tower or Buena Vista or Lakhani's signature, apartment, gates, residency. So you could see that with the change in urban form, the way the buildings were being named or the way they were being seen was also transforming. The newer buildings also we found that there were patterns where they were named after certain colors, green, red, silver was a hot favorite. There is also a trend to name buildings after other locations. So different forms of paradise. So you had Shangri-La and you had paradise itself. So aspiration to be not here but somewhere else, other cities, other countries. But simultaneously there are a lot of houses which were named after natural elements. So though we live in a city, we do aspire to perhaps live amidst nature. And that was apparent from the names that were given to the houses. So we always read about the Portuguese and the British influence on Bandra. And we had anticipated that we would find some English names and some Portuguese names. But we were very surprised to find that there were names in 9 languages. So you had older languages like Latin and Hebrew, and then you had other international languages like Spanish, German, French, Portuguese, Italian, and you also had Sanskrit, Hindi and Urdu. So which kinds of lends itself to the idea that Bandra is truly a cultural melting pot. You can't define it with only one kind of heritage. There are all kinds which are there. And yeah, these were some of the inferences that we do. One of them being that there's an incremental change in the location and name. Earlier there were small name plates on gates. Now there are huge ones which are there on the building itself. And earlier there were names of owners and family members. but now there are names of builders which are being displayed as the building name. Yeah, so what's in a name? That question came back to us again. And it came, more information came to us in the form of stories. You can go out there and read the panel there. Every name has a story behind it. And we went out and met the people in Salset and tried to decipher the stories. What are the stories behind these names? They are very, very fascinating. Please go and take a look. This is the map that is created, also kept at the location of the panel. When all this information has been compiled into a map, we are going to be giving out these maps to people and selling them perhaps at some locations in Bandra, so that awareness is created around this very, very kind of forgotten piece of cultural heritage of Bandra. We've also printed some postcards, bookmarks, which talk about the cultural history and the signage and the house names and the stories behind them. So yeah, what's in a name? All these names, all these students who have been a part of this journey, it was very, very exciting to see how different people interpreted the same data in different ways and held the entire research project from end to end. We had no funding from outside. This was all completely funded and acted upon by members of Lisbon College of Architecture. Yes, thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you so much, Miraz ma'am. Lastly, we have the NASA exhibit presented by Fatima Sheikh and Karen Mosquita, showcasing the innovative projects of our students in collaboration with the National Association of Students of Architecture. Professor Minaz Ansari to be felicitated on stage. Please come on stage.
The team members are here of the Bandra signage project. Please come on stage. Whoever's here, please come on stage. Quickly, don't wait for others. Whoever's here, please come on stage.
to everyone present over here. Let me start by saying that it has been an honor being the representative of Brisbane College of Architecture in the National Association of Students of Architecture. National Association for Students of Architecture is a student body organization that houses more than 200 architectural colleges from all over India. It is an association of the students, by the students and for the students. Our mission at NASA India is to provide a platform for students of architecture to connect and exchange ideas as well as make connections. I'll take you through a journey where our students at Brisbane College of Architecture have outshined and done an amazing job. Annual NASA Design Competition. Reduce, reuse and recycle. We definitely have heard this a million times. The brief this time was a call for action to walk the talk. The objective was to create an architectural design which showcases the potential of utilizing pre-used, discarded or waste material in a new building while also creating awareness for the same. This project stands as a beacon of sustainability and innovation. Amidst ongoing renovation work and festivities within our campus, we saw an opportunity for change. Our mission was crystal clear. Change must start from within. The discarded remnants of our own institution, which, quite frankly, seem endless at times, would become the raw materials of our creativity. Our journey towards creating this prototype from a college-based stream was marked by careful planning and a steadfast commitment to our mission. Waste material across the entire college was identified and used so as to create modular and adaptable designs that would maximize utility. Bear in mind that erection of this prototype was completely carried out by the student team. This prototype seeks to inspire change, reminding us all that innovation can flourish even amidst the most unexpected origins, and that every action matters, no matter how small. Moving forward to CP Kukreja Trophy, which Kevin Mosqueda, the unit designee of the college, will take forward.
The CPK Trophy theme, Revitalization of History through Reimagining India's Cherished Monuments, focuses on merging the old with the new. One of our team chose the Nalanda University rules, the world's first university, as our project centerpiece. Their approach involved through the online research, studying ASI surveys, analyzing the campus's impact on neighboring towns, and finally redesigning key components. The library, along with one stupa, 4 monasteries, and the museum, were transformed into a modern theatre, vocational training area, public open space, and meditation center. While on the other hand, our second team chose Watson Hotel, located right in the middle of Fort Heritage District. It stands as a silent witness to the city's dynamic history. Its historical significance as one of the first luxury hotels in India emphasizes on honoring the past via reimagining Watson hotels to involve transforming it into a cultural nexus, hosting events that celebrate Mumbai's diverse heritage. Preserving the architectural charm while introducing contemporary elements can create a vibrant space of art, community engagement, and historical appreciation. This metamorphosis can include the ethos of harmoniously merging the old and the new, as outlined in the design brief. Moving forward to the MSL Trophy, which is Mohammed Shahid Landscape Trophy. As architects, we are a community of professionals whose work directly participates in and thereby impacts diverse habitats and ecosystems. The brief talks about the concept of coexistence with biodiversity, which refers to the dynamic balance that allows different species to thrive together, contributing to a stable and prosperous ecosystem. Subsequently, the Lokanwala Lake, a stone quarry in Basai, and Karave wetlands in Navi Mumbai were selected as the sites which were being endangered due to human activities like illegal dumping and urban expansion. The sites were analyzed through identification of resident, deciding fauna species, migratory fauna species, and flora, human activities and accessibility on site. The design interventions were aimed at bringing together all the species in harmony with the urban context of Mumbai.
In conclusion, our journey through these architectural projects exemplifies the power of innovation and sustainability. From repurposing waste materials within our own campus to reimagining historic monuments and revitalizing endangered ecosystems, our students at
Professor Tanya Shah is the founder of TS Design Works that surveys and explores the diversity of architectural practice and spotlights on the understanding of your cultural and realistic needs, reflecting them into personal designs and reviews of your desired buildings and structures. A number of individuals with diverse credentials to their names provide their comprehensive involvement into every stage of design and structuring the consistently results in projects that have been recognized and appreciated for architectural innovation and quality. Professor Tanya Shah is also a photographer who resorts to travel and captures the essence of a space through her lens. She started representing architecture and urban spaces through the medium of photography, discovering what is beyond the eye and exhibiting her experience of space. She has published a book called Expeditions Through My Lens, which narrates the tales of the built and of the unbuilt. She is a recipient of Eminent Women Award, Best Teacher Award, Debut Designer of the Year, and recognized as 20 self-made female entrepreneurs of India, business achievers to watch, and many more. Her work is published at various national and international platforms. Architecture and Samir Rathod, Design Associates. I would like to invite him on the stage.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, good morning. Thanks for confirming, Shabir. This is going to be very short. This is just like, let's say, a prequel to tomorrow, actually. This is like an introduction to the APIC conference that we are having tomorrow. The theme of the conference is, the title of the conference is Reflections of the Future. And architects, urban designers, planners, everybody who works in the design realm, okay, we, in a way, I mean, if we want to, we in a way prophesize the future. Okay, is this better? Probably. So in many ways, we kind of prophesize the future as we design, as we generate spaces, as we create spaces which are for people and for places. These space configurations in many ways shape behaviors and elicit responses from people who are using it. What are these futures like? I mean, that's what we want to deliberate on for the next 2 days. Are these futures apocalyptic? Are these futures positive? What is the hegemonic discourse today? And are we talking about, I mean, the current discourse is the current ascending narratives seem to not be very inclusive. And can we bring back questions of, let's say, inclusivity, social justice and ecological sustainability back on the table as conversations? So we are all having invitees from all over, various disciplines. We are going to call people from various fields and various situations also. So there are researchers, there are architects, there are urban planners, there are people from the governance as well. And we hope to set a dialogue, hope to have deliberations that will inspire us to better futures, to more positive futures, and hopefully more inclusive futures. Yeah? Thank you very much. We will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
We would now like to invite Professor Jigar Patel on stage for his immense hard work in putting up the Palhari exhibition. You request Meera Ram and Nikasa to come on stage.
second year students to put up such an amazing work. Okay, they are not here, I think they are all upstairs. But this was a collective effort by students. We as a faculty had hardly any role to play. We are just facilitators, sorry. And much thanks to Tabdo, Tanya, Parvez Bhai, and all of the AD team. Anisha also, who accompanied us with the tour, and rest of the faculty who helped us accommodate this exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for your patience and attentiveness. Everyone is now requested to move up to the exhibition room for the Kalahari exhibition. Thank you. And the 5th year students are requested to gather in the auditorium for the official photograph. Thank you everyone.